And now joining me on WION Newsroom, Adya Juneja, who will give us all the insights in the world of business. Nikita Singh, who will give us all the updates from the world of technology. And Athira Sasidharan, who will get us all the updates from the world of sports. We begin with Adya for the market updates.
Well, thank you, Diksha. Oil prices are retreating as US softens its stance on Iran. But the Hormuz crisis and its impact is already showing up on consumer wallets. Starting with oils first. Oil prices fell for the second day on expectations of bottled-up supply from the key Gulf-producing region, which could resume flowing. Well, this comes after US President Donald Trump indicated a possible peace deal which may be reached to end the war with Iran. Brent crude futures fell 1.5% after dropping 4% in the previous session. On Tuesday, Trump unexpectedly said he would briefly pause an operation to help escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz, citing progress towards a comprehensive agreement with Iran. However, Trump said the US Navy would continue its blockade of Iranian ports, while the supply loss to the global market has pushed prices higher, with Brent trading last week at its highest since March 22. Meanwhile, Europe's aviation sector is under pressure as soaring fuel prices raise costs across airlines. Lufthansa expects nearly $2 billion in extra fuel expenses, while EasyJet has also resorted rising losses and weaker bookings. Well, the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz has tightened jet fuel supply, with Europe heavily reliant on West Asia refineries, creating a growing risk of shortages. Airlines are cutting flights, increasing fares and implementing cost-saving measures, but analysts warn the crisis could intensify as peak travel season drives fuel demand higher. And finally, US labor market data points to stability, with job openings dipping slightly in the month of March but hiring surging to a more than 2 years of high. The Labour Department's JOLTS report showed openings at 6.86 million, while hiring jumped sharply across key sectors like retail and hospitality. Despite rising layoffs and global risks from the Iran conflict, economists say the labour market remains resilient, which is reducing pressure on the Federal Reserve to cut rates. Meanwhile, strong exports hit record highs, though rising imports widen the trade deficit as businesses continue heavy investment in AI and infrastructure. Well, that is it from business. Now, for all the tech updates, it's over to you, Nikita.
Thanks so much, Adya. First up, Microsoft, Google and Elon Musk's xAI have agreed to give the US government early access to their new artificial intelligence models for security testing. Now, the move comes as Washington raises concerns over potential hacking and military misuse of advanced AI systems, including Anthropic's Mythos. The US Department of Commerce's Center for AI Standards and Innovation said it will now evaluate models before deployment to assess risks and capabilities. The US officials said the aim is to spot threats such as cyber attacks and other national security risks early. Next up, Ireland's media regulator has opened investigations into Meta's Instagram and Facebook over how their algorithms control what users see online. Now, the probe focuses on whether EU users can easily control and change their feeds, or if they are being pushed into highly personalized content. The regulator under the EU's Digital Services Act said it is examining whether platform designs may be misleading or manipulative. It also raised concerns over so-called dark patterns that could prevent users from opting out of profile-based recommendations. Officials warned that such algorithms could repeatedly push harmful content, especially to children and young users. And lastly, Apple has agreed to a $250 million settlement in a shareholder lawsuit over delays in its AI upgrades for the Siri voice assistant. The case was filed in 2024 in a US federal court in California after Apple promoted new AI features at its annual developer conference, claiming they would arrive with new iPhones later that year. However, the devices were launched without those promised features, leading shareholders to argue that the delay negatively has impacted investor interest and value. Well, that's it from the world of tech. Now, my colleague Athra would be taking you through some sports updates across the globe. Over to you, Athra.
Thank you so much, Nikita. Here are the top sports stories we're tracking for you at this hour. We'll begin with football first, where Arsenal have managed to reach the first ever Champions League final in 20 years. The Gunners overcame Atletico Madrid 2-1 on aggregate in the semi-finals. The score was level at 1-1 after the first leg, but Tuesday's return at the Emirates Stadium began intensely, with Saka scoring the only goal of the match in the 44th minute. The Gunners are into the Champions League final for the first time since 2006. They lost that final to Barcelona. Under manager Mikel Arteta, Arsenal are now also in a strong position to win the Premier League. Over in cricket now, Chennai Super Kings have kept their playoff chances alive in the Indian Premier League. Sanju Samson led the five-time champions to an 8-wicket victory over Delhi Capitals at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. The hosts won the toss and elected to bat first, but their top four batters failed to make an impact and failed to pass the 20-run mark. The hosts posted a target of 155 for 7 in their 20 overs, with impact player Samir Rizvi scoring 40 unbeaten. In reply, Chennai Super Kings chased the target with 15 balls to spin. Opener Sanju Samson top scored for Chennai with 87 not out. CSK and Delhi remained 6th and 7th respectively in the points table, but the win means that the five-time champions Chennai Super Kings are only 2 points off the 4 teams above them. Lastly, in tennis, world number 1 Arina Sabalenka believes that players will boycott a Grand Slam at some point because of the ongoing dispute over prize money. Leading tennis players and Grand Slams have been at a loggerheads for over a year now. Several players believe they receive an insufficient share of tournament revenues, even as those revenues continue to grow. The men's and women's top players are demanding a higher percentage of revenue generated by the 4 Grand Slams and also benefits contribution and a greater say in areas such as scheduling. Well, with that, we've come to the end of the sports segment. It's back to you, Diksha.
Thank you so much, Athira, Nikita and Adya, for getting us all those updates. And with that, it's time for us to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. More news and updates will follow on the other side. You're watching Beyond World is One. Stay tuned.